happy Wednesday, July 12th, 2023. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in to Loud Majority Live here on the Loud Majority Network. We're going to be talking about the Sound of Freedom today. I'm going to do my best not to give any spoilers out. If you haven't seen it yet, run, don't walk to go see it. The movie was absolutely spectacular. Not even if you took away its cultural meaning and what's behind it, it was a good movie. You know, it was a well done movie. We're going to get into that in just 1 minute. But before we do, make sure you guys head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out the shop. If you guys would, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, head on over to rumble.com/loudmajorityus. That's rumble.com/loudmajorityus. I'm putting it in the chat right now because who the hell knows how long we'll be able to be on some of these other platforms. So make sure you guys are on Rumble. Make sure you guys are following over at the Loud Majority page, because Rumble's the only place where you can say the sorts of stuff that we're going to say both today and in general. Rumble's the only place you're allowed to say it. So make sure you're heading on over to rumble.com/loudmajorityus to follow everything that we're doing over there. So let's talk about the Sound of Freedom. Let's talk about the Sound of Freedom because I think it's important. I think it's absolutely important that we discuss this film. I don't think it's not getting the mainstream media effect. Obviously, it's not getting any help from the mainstream media, which I believe that it should. It isn't, which is a real shame. But it was wild. It was. I think the black and white scenes in the movie, for those of you who have seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. The black and white scenes were all real, from what I'm reading. I'm really doing my best not to give out any spoilers here, but the black and white scenes were all real. That was the inevitable true story of Tim Ballard and what he did every day. That made us a better man than a better man than you. I couldn't do that job. I would never be able to do it. So obviously Tim, I don't think this is really part of the story. He left his job at the Department of Homeland Security, where he was tracking down child pornography exchanges, to start Operation Underground Railroad, which stops human trafficking, particularly the sex trafficking of children all over the world. And it was an incredible movie. Now, firstly, let's say this was your typical Hollywood movie. You're done by Warner Brothers or done by MGM or Miramax. Is Miramax still a thing? I don't know. First off, the two kids in the movie would have won Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor at the Academy Awards. 100%. The two kids in this movie were maybe the best acting performances I've seen, I don't know, since Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. Certainly a hell of a lot better than whatever crap is going to win the Oscar this year. Probably something about, I don't know, trannies or something like that. Not allowed to say that on Twitter. I'm sure I'll get banned for that. So whatever nonsense will come out of the Academy this year. It would win Best Original Screenplay. 100%. The writing was incredible. The script for this was amazing. But Hollywood will pretend this movie doesn't exist. We'll hear everything on earth about the Barbie movie. The Barbie movie, the Barbie movie with the transgender doctor. Like they didn't do that on purpose. We'll hear all about that. You'll hear nothing about this movie. Barbie, a movie that quite literally means nothing. From a group of people who claim we shouldn't be promoting unhealthy beauty standards to young people and then they go out and cast Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling in a movie, maybe the two best looking people on planet Earth. They're all hypocrites. They're all hypocrites. Now, the name of the movie is The Sound of Freedom. Daniel, The Sound of Freedom. Run, do not walk to go see it. It was amazing, and I've been a fan of Jim Caviezel for a long time. Not only when he played in The Passion of the Christ, I liked him in The Count of Monte Cristo. I liked him. It's one of my favorite books. I liked him in what the hell was that movie he did with Dennis Quaid? Now I can't remember it. I've been thinking about it all morning. Now I can't remember it. With Dennis Quaid. This is going to bother me so much. Frequency. Where they're able to talk back in time, and it's like a crime. It's like a crime thriller. He was great in that. I've been a fan of his for quite some time. I'm happy he's putting his talents to use. His talents to good use. I think the biggest problem with, let's see, I'm getting an update on Twitter. What just happened? Oh no. Thought I got banned for saying the T word. So, the biggest issue with the idea, and this is why the border is so crucial here in America. This is why the border is so crucial, because essentially, and look, they say it in the film, we know it, unfortunately, something that's very well known, that America is the number one destination for child sex trafficking anywhere in the world. The number one destination, which is something as Americans we should all be nauseated over. It's something we should be talking about every single day. It's something that were radical protesters to care about at all, they should be handcuffing themselves to the front of the CIA building the way they do over climate change. But they don't. They don't. We're supposed to pretend like this isn't happening. We're supposed to pretend like this isn't happening. The problem with the issue at the border is that the United States, the government, and look, I'm not saying anyone's doing it on purpose. Because look, there are Republican governors doing this. But when Governor Abbott, Governor DeSantis, Mayor Adams, whoever the mayor is in Chicago right now, the mayor of Los Angeles, when they move these people, when they move these families, quote unquote, because they're not families, when they move these people around the country, they have essentially become the last leg in the human smuggling operation. I really don't want to get into spoilers about the film, but there's a part at the Mexican border. If that part at the Mexican border were to be shipped from there to New York or Martha's Vineyard or Chicago, the American government would essentially be doing the last leg of this. And you know what the worst part about the movie was? Is that there really wasn't some evil cabal. You know, it wasn't like some mastermind behind it. There was no Epstein in this, so to speak. There were people at the top of these rings, but there was no sort of higher, mustache-twirling villain. It was just one person doing a little bit, doing a little bit, doing a little bit, doing a little bit. For these kids to end up all over the world. It was one of the saddest things I've ever seen. One of the saddest things I've ever seen. So if you have not seen The Sound of Freedom, this is me passing the baton to you. Run, do not walk. Go see it. Figure out a way. Look, I'm sure you haven't been to the movie theater. I'm sure you've been to a movie theater in in forever to begin with. It was nice. It was actually kind of nice going to the movie theater. I hadn't been there in quite some time. It was nice. The concession stand was pretty fun. I went with 5 people. We ended up paying like $80 for snacks. I don't know how the hell that happened. But as I said, if Hollywood cared at all about this movie, those 2 kids would have won Best Supporting Actor awards, and it would have won at least Best Original Screenplay. I wouldn't say Best Picture, because it was slow at points. If you're a crier, you will cry. Mike Crispy cried. Remember that for the later show? Mike Crispy absolutely cried. Make sure you break his chops about it. Yeah, it was wild. It was absolutely incredible. And what I find most unbelievable about it is that apparently this movie sat on the shelf for 5 years. Disney had this movie, and they didn't make it for 5 years. You almost want to ask yourself why. Why did this movie sit on a shelf in a can for 5 years? It's something I don't. We all know the answer to it, but it's something I don't want to think about. It's something I don't particularly want to think about, just because I have to at least feel a little bit, like there are people out there who care. Like there are people out there who would care one way or the other. However, thank God there are people out there like Tim Ballard doing this amazing work, because I don't think I could do it. I tell you what, though, after you watch this movie, you're going to want to get in your car and drive down to the border and start figuring shit out, okay? Let me tell you something. There was like 4 people after the movie was over. After the movie was over, like the credits rolled and there's a message at the end of the movie that you should wait and see. After the movie was over, I was like, yo, I said audibly out loud, I was like, who's ready to go down to the border? And like 4 guys in the theater were like, yo, let's go right now. Let's go right now. Of course, CNN panned the movie as a QAnon conspiracy theorist wet dream. It's not remotely like that at all. CNN had on a host that no one's ever heard of, and a guest no one's ever heard of, to talk about how evil the movie is, because apparently on QAnon websites people liked the movie, which is odd. I'm sure on QAnon websites people like The Godfather, but they don't compare those to it. And of course, we are the ones doing most of the legwork when it comes to this. We just got word, let's see if I can pull this up. We just got word that apparently Mayor Eric Adams will be housing 2,000 more immigrants in Brooklyn, in abandoned buildings. What could possibly go wrong there? We'll get to that in 1 minute. Before we do, a quick word from Mike Lindell.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets, sleepwear.
Whoa, Charles. Everyone now can get MyPillow products at huge discounts at MyPillow.com. That's right. Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our 3-in-1 sale. We're bringing you exciting new products, overstock specials, and closeout deals you won't find anywhere else. For example, when you buy one of our brand new MyPillow 2.0s, you get another one absolutely free. And with our overstock sale, you save 50% on our luxurious Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.99 for the best sheets ever. And with our biggest closeout special, you get our all-season slippers for only $35. Or our sandals and slides for just $25. Quantities are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone.
Guys, please do support the people who support this show. Head on over to mypillow.com, promo code LOUD. That's mypillow.com, promo code LOUD, for up to 80% off everything on the website. That's mypillow.com, promo code LOUD. For up to 80% of everything on the website, you can get the MyPillow 2.0 with temperature-regulated thread. 4 buy one, get one free. That's a BOGO, baby. That's mypillow.com, promo code LOUD. Yeah, so we've got this tweet here from Crime in New York City. Crime in New York City, that Mayor Eric Adams plans to house 2,000 migrants to stay in dormitories that were previously vacant building on a block-sized complex at 47 Hall Street near Brooklyn Navy Yard in Clinton Hill. The administration source, not authorized to speak to reporters, said that city officials hope to increase the capacity at the complex beyond 2,000 people if the hall, as it's called, reaches the 2,000 people the city says it expects to shelter there. Only the Row Hotel in Midtown would house more migrants. So why is this a problem? Why is this a problem, putting them in abandoned buildings in the middle of Brooklyn? Well, because regular people, Americans, young people, they go to school in these areas. So now when they go to school in these areas, what do they have to do? Now you've got to hire more teachers. You've got to hire bilingual teachers. Not every teacher speaks Spanish. Matter of fact, most of the teachers I know in New York City don't speak Spanish. So what are they going to do? You wonder why, and it is not inherently the children that are causing the problem. It is the system in which it is set up. Because you need to give now that kids... And I hate when people make this argument because they make it about race or xenophobia or anything. No, it's about practicality, okay? If you have half of a class who speaks one language and half of a class who speaks another language, you know what that means? That means you've got to do each lesson twice. And because you've got to do each lesson twice, that means you do not get as much time with your students. Thus, the children do not learn, both the Hispanic and American children. This is hurting both children, unless, of course, you start to make what? Segregated classes in all of the schools? How's that going to go? Is that going to go well? Probably not. But every solution for every democratic problem is very broad and not very deep. They never look at the second step. And then what? As Thomas Sowell likes to say. And then what? You house 2,000 migrants in an abandoned building in Brooklyn. And then what? The problem doesn't just stop there. No, George, I will not be at Whitestone tonight. All right. I will be at the next one, though. I will be at the next one, absolutely. This is the problem. But Democrats never think about it. They think, oh, we'll just stick them in it. And look, what is mind-blowing is that right now there actually is plenty of places to put the illegal immigrants in New York City. Commercial housing has gone off the deep end. But they won't store them there. They won't store them in the old Chase Bank building. No, they're going to put them in an abandoned warehouse in Clinton Hill, off to the side, so nobody can see them. It's the exact same way that during the All-Star game in Seattle yesterday, the city of Seattle decided, you know what we're going to do with all of our homeless people? We're going to move them out of the way because we don't want the rest of the country to actually see what the end result of our policies are. I've been to Seattle, okay? Seattle is a beautiful city. Beautiful city. Until you get downtown. And it's cool. There's cool stuff downtown. You can go, they got the fish market, where they throw the fish. That's pretty cool. You can go see the first Starbucks ever. Just little things like that. You can see a line of junkies shooting heroin between their toes in the middle of the street. You can watch a homeless man wipe his ass on the curb. But not this week in Seattle. No, no, no. They've moved all those people out to make way for the entire country to see how beautiful the city of Seattle is. And the homeless people aren't too thrilled about it. The homeless people are not too thrilled about it. And why would they be? We'll get to that in just 1 minute. Before we do, guys, head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. It's loudmajorityusa.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out the shop. So you never miss out on anything we got going on. Use promo code RUMBLE for 20% off everything on the website. That's promo code RUMBLE for 20% off everything on the website. Also, if you're watching on Rumble, make sure you guys we got a good crowd on Rumble today. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button on Rumble. Hit the follow button at the bottom of the page so you never miss out on anything we got going on. Apparently, the Port Jeff Cinema is showing The Sound of Freedom starting tomorrow. So they are picking up. Are you telling me that? Wow, they are picking up theaters. Wow, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive that this movie is actually picking up theaters. Spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. But that's what they've done. That's what Seattle did. That's what we do at the border. We just move these people out. Because you know why they're moving these people out at the border? Because they don't want, as much as we don't like Fox News right now, they don't want people like Bill Malugin over at Fox News coming down and getting photographs of 2,000 people sleeping under a bridge. So they moved them out. The problem with that is that when these human traffickers come in with people who pretend to be their children, and then they get shipped to LA or Sacramento or New York or Boston, they become the last leg. They become the last leg of the human smuggling operation. And that's what people don't seem to understand. That's the point that's got to be driven home. It was a wild movie, everybody. And I would urge everybody to go see it. We're going to wrap up here in a minute, guys. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in once again. Guys, head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out the shop. Make sure you're subscribed over on Rumble at rumble.com/loudmajorityus. Because let's be honest, half the stuff I'm saying on here, you can't say on Twitter, you can't say on Facebook, so who the hell knows how long I'll be there for. So make sure you guys are subscribed over on Rumble, rumble.com/loudmajorityus. And stick around, I'm going to do a much deeper dive on the 1 o'clock show. I've also got the rest of the news of the day. 1 o'clock, rumble.com/LFATV. That's rumble.com/LFATV. Guys, I will see you back here on Friday. Some stuff's going to change around here. Some stuff is going to change around here that I think you guys will really, really enjoy. So I will see you. I'll see you later on. We will talk then. Until then, everybody, stay loud.